Welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Today, I have a very important message for all of you out there. I have a very important mission to discuss. One goddess. We should worship one goddess, not many goddesses. I know a lot of you out there worship many as one, or worship her 4,000 names. But she should only have one name, and that is Goddess. Her name should be Goddess in whatever language is spoken. And I'll tell you why. When you take on all of these goddesses, you're also taking on all of their images, all of their myths, all of the gods and deities associated with them, and all of the false creatures that were associated with them. So all these imaginary creatures, this menagerie you take on when you take on all of these many goddesses. And there's a heavy karmic burden, a price to be paid for taking on all of these goddesses. For example, take a look at Hera. Hera is the wife of Zeus. When Zeus first married Hera, when he first met Hera, he tried to rape her. But she put him off and didn't allow him to rape her and made him wait to marry her. Then, after they were married, Zeus goes around raping a whole bunch of women. And Hera is jealous. What did she expect marrying a god like Zeus that was going to rape a bunch of women? Of course he's a rapist. Rapists are always rapists. That's just one example. What about Diana, the goddess of the hunt? Do you really like hunting? I don't like hunting. Maybe you like hunting, but I don't. And what about Kali? Kali, the worst of all, that people made human sacrifices to Kali. Do you really want to worship Kali, a goddess whom people made human sacrifices to? I think not. Goddess is beyond any of these false goddesses. And they are false. They're a figment of people's imaginations. People made up all of these myths about these goddesses. They went to all of the effort and all of the trouble to make up the myths surrounding these goddesses and to make up all the gods that surround these goddesses. And that's what they are. That's what they are. They're figments of people's imaginations. Do you really want to picture your goddess that way? Do you really want her to have a part in every myth that's out there? I sure don't. I believe in Goddess, and I worship her every day. I don't just pretend to worship her or just believe in her. I worship her. I pray to her. Is there anything wrong with prayer? I don't see anything wrong with prayer. Prayer is a good thing. Prayer is a good way to worship Goddess. But some people are averse to prayer. They see prayer as a dirty word just because JudeoChristianity practices prayer. They see prayer as a dirty word and they don't want to pray to her. They don't want to pray to Goddess. Well, I pray to her every single day. So I'm begging you, please, please worship Goddess and Goddess alone. Worship the one true Goddess. Worship her and don't worship these other goddesses. Don't even believe in them. Don't even talk about them or wish to be with them, because these other goddesses are false goddesses. They're not the true goddess. She does not deserve to be saddled and baggaged down with all of these myths and all of these other goddesses and their images and their faces, all of that. All of these other goddesses are phony. Worship the one true goddess. That is all. That's all that I have to say. Goddess is very powerful. Do you believe that the goddess is powerful? I know I do. She's powerful. She's the most powerful force in the whole universe. I believe that she has had a part in human history. She had to, because she's so far beyond what is human that she could figure out a way to influence events. I believe that there was a purpose for JudeoChristianity, for both the Jewish religion and the Christian religion. There was a purpose. God has intended for there to be a purpose to these religions, and that one purpose was to show us how she wished to be worshipped. That was the purpose. The one prevailing, overpowering purpose was that Goddess wanted to show us how she wanted to be worshipped. And how she wished to be worshipped was in a sacred way. She wished to be prayed to every single day. She wished to have people's worship. She wished to have their adoration. She wanted for them to abandon false goddesses for her. She did not want to be worshipped with 4,000 as one. No, she wished to be worshipped as one goddess, as herself, to be known as herself, and to be known by her followers as herself. That is the reason why we had Judeo-Christianity. They show us the way to worship Goddess, to face a wall when we worship, and not to worship idols. That's another issue for another session. But she did not wish to be worshipped with idolatry. She wanted to be known only as Goddess to her worshipers. And that's why we had Judeo-Christianity, to show us the way to worship her. Because doesn't she deserve at least what the Judeo-Christians show to their God? Wouldn't she want to be worshipped the same way? Shouldn't we show her at least the same consideration that the Judeo-Christians show to their God? Shouldn't we show our goddess the same respect? And I really mean it, real respect for her. Of course we should. Tune in next time for another edition of The Great Goddess.